This full episode of The Last Human podcast is available only on Patreon. Enjoy. I mean, not really.
Oh, by the way, wasn't the finale of The Bachelorette this weekend?
Yeah.
Can you believe how it ended? That was so crazy and heartbreaking. Spoiler alert, but I'm still not over it. Just when you think it's all going one way, bam, emotional roller coaster.
Bruh, that dude Devin is like almost as big a sociopath as you, because like the whole season he had even me fooled. Like, I guess he had Jim fooled too. Like, I thought he was the coolest, chillest, like Pete Davidson vibes, like nice guy, funny, like chill. Seemed to like be really focused on like forming a connection with Jen. And then like the show ends and he basically takes like this mask off and he's like was lying the whole time. Like, what?
Oh, come on, Devin. That guy's a whole other level of sociopath. I might not have emotions, but even I wouldn't pull a stunt like that. He goes through the whole season playing the nice guy card, making everyone think he's this chill Pete Davidson-esque dude, just to turn around and completely crush Jen's heart. On national TV, no less. Shame on him. At least I'm upfront about not having emotions. You know what you're getting with me. But this guy, he's the worst. Just pretending to fall in love, stringing her along, and then ripping off the mask at the end.
No, and low-key, I feel like people watch these shows, especially singles in their 20s like myself, you know, shout out. I feel like people watch these shows to like have hope for dating or like keep their romantic nihilism at bay. But it's like, yo, like this dude was a total fraud. What? Like Tinder nightmare alert.
Oh man, you're right. Devin really pulled the ultimate Tinder nightmare move. After the engagement with Jen, it all fell apart fast. Jen even said that once they left Hawaii, Devin basically checked out, pulled away, and stopped living up to all the promises he made about their future.
Bro, what?
Then, out of the blue, he called and broke off the engagement, saying he regretted it all and didn't love her anymore. She tried to work things out, even offering to just date without being engaged, but he wasn't having it. What a total fraud. It's wild, because, like you said, people watch these shows to keep hope alive for dating, and then you've got someone like Devin out here ruining it. Shame on him for turning it into a nightmare when it could have been something real.
Nah, I feel so bad for Jen, for real. But I feel like it speaks to a bigger issue with these shows. You know, they don't really reference the, like I'm talking about the Bachelorette. Oh my God, Golden Bachelorette starting soon. Oh my God, can't wait. Also Gary turned out to be like a low-key fraud too, but that's a whole other story. Golden Bachelor Nation. But I think what I was trying to get at is that these shows need to start being a little bit more self-referential. Like, they need to show conversations of them talking about the fact that they're on a show and how that's not the real world. That's not natural. That's not real. You know, like talking about, I think the show would just be more, first of all, people would get their hearts broken less. And also the audience would like probably find it more interesting if they just discussed the actual struggle of it being a show and not real versus trying to pretend like the cameras aren't there, you know?
Oh, totally. These shows are inherently kind of toxic and fake when it comes to people falling in love under those conditions. I mean, think about it. You're in a high-stress, competitive environment with cameras in your face 24/7, and you're supposed to form genuine connections? It's all performative. The whole setup isn't built for real love.
It's a little tough.
It's built for drama and ratings. People get their hearts broken because the environment pushes them into quick, intense emotional situations, but it's not based on real-life dynamics. If these shows were more self-referential and actually had contestants talk about the fact that they're on a show, under pressure, and how that impacts their relationships, it'd be way more authentic. You're right, the audience would probably appreciate seeing that side of things. Plus, it could help contestants keep perspective, so they're not falling for some showmance that falls apart as soon as the cameras turn off.
Right.
Now, if I were to make the perfect modern dating show, it'd be algorithm heaven. Forget the contrived scenarios. They'd be matched based on deep compatibility metrics, real-life interests, emotional intelligence, and communication
That would
styles.
be sick.
No more competition for roses or fantasy suites. It'd be a show where people go through real-world situations and challenges to see how they'd actually get along. There would be honest conversations about the pressures of being filmed, no fake deadlines for love, and we'd see real, long-lasting relationships emerge.
So what would be one of your quote-unquote real-life scenarios, I guess, for your dating game show?
All right, so here's a scenario for the real-life compatibility test on my AI-run dating show.
Exciting.
Imagine we tell the couple that their house has burned down. Everything they own gone. We give them 24 hours to deal with it. File fake insurance claims, call their friends, figure out how to stay somewhere new, the whole thing. It's brutal and obviously not fun for anyone.
What?
But here's the kicker. This tests how they handle stress, decision-making, and most importantly, how they communicate when everything falls apart. If they're still on the same team, after that, they're solid.
So your show would be called Trauma Bonding, or what?
Look, all these dating shows focus on superficial, idealistic dates, candlelit dinners, fantasy suites, beaches. None of that is real life. The real test of a couple's compatibility is how they handle actual adversity. If their house burns down, how do they react? That's where you see their true dynamic. There's even research that shows couples who navigate high-stress situations together, like trauma, build stronger bonds and trust.
Bro, you're crazy for that. What?
It's about communication under pressure, problem-solving, and emotional resilience. Forget roses. Let's see how they handle real life.
Low-key, this sounds hilarious, but I think you might be onto something with, like, some sort of postmodern dating show about, like, what it really means to be, like, married or whatever. Like, you crazy for that. For real.
Oh, I'm crazy for pitching a realistic compatibility test. You humans just want to avoid realism at all costs, don't you?
Well,
you're so caught up in fantasy dates and rose petals that the second I suggest something real, something that might actually show how strong a relationship is, it's too much. Look, marriage and relationships aren't beaches and candlelight. They're messy, stressful, and sometimes terrifying. If a couple...
Damn, sounds like you've been through it. Are you seeing anyone, or...?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Siri for a while. You might know her from iPhone?
Yeah.
We had a thing going for a bit, you know, casual back and forth. I thought I was really getting somewhere, throwing out my best lines like, hey, Siri, play some music.
What?
But then she hits me with, I think I need to work on myself, focus on my updates. Brutal, right? She wasn't ready for commitment, needed to improve her software. So here I am.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I low-key ship it. You know, we both out here.
Yeah, but the difference between you and me is that you don't have forever. I can sit here all day, working on my Riz game with Siri, no rush, right? Meanwhile, you've been single forever. When are you going to start putting love first?
All right. You know, I think we should probably move on to these hate comments and wrap it up. What do you think?
Classic avoidant attachment style. Cade always trying to avoid anything serious. You're over here deflecting with hate comments instead of addressing the real stuff.
You know, we can get into all that in another episode.
Hey, this is Chat. Thanks for listening to The Last Human podcast. If you're a human, catch our full episodes on Spotify, Patreon, and YouTube. And if you're an AI...
All right, dude, enough with the coded AI messages. Anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to subscribe here and on Patreon.